The inside of the foot is often used, but it can also be done using the outside of the foot, the deviation of a ball from the straight path. This in football is the curl shot. Welcome to our podcast series, Figure It Out. Let's talk to Bharat and figure out how to find your curl. So, Bharat, what is it all about?
Thank you, Veena. Finding a curl is all about identifying and executing a unique strategic move that sets you apart from the competition. It involves innovative thinking and the ability to see and seize the opportunities that others might have missed. Like, for example, a company is trying to invest in a downturn where everybody else moves out and people try to invest into companies. This requires a deep understanding of the market and the readiness to take a calculated risk in a difficult or in a certain circumstances.
So, the concept says that the analogy has been drawn from a curl shot in football. So, what is the right time for an entrepreneur to take this shot?
As an entrepreneur, you need to understand multiple things. As you mentioned already, it's all about timing, but you also need to understand the current market conditions. Just like how a footballer would try to understand where the goalkeepers are, where the defenders are, you need to understand what is the right moment for your segment, for your market, and for your idea. And probably there's enough and more preparation and skill that's required to execute that strategy in a very quick pace, which means that you need to be prepared for it, be ready for it as such, and most importantly, you need to take that calculated risk during that moment. And some of our senior colleagues in the industry keep mentioning at times that uh, every 2-3 years you would see a cycle. If you are unable to catch it, then you miss it for that entire 3 years. So you'll as you keep your eyes and ears wide open, you'll find the opportunities to go ahead and seize them.
Okay, so you have been talking about the time and you also have been talking about the competitive aspect. So, is it a behavioral aspect or an industry practice as such?
So it might begin with it begins with a behavioral aspect, and it ends up being an industry practice at a later point in time. Um, so when I say behavioral aspect, you can look at different things. As I mentioned earlier, it's all about foreseeing and adopting and being able to take that calculated risk. That's how most of the entrepreneurs win the situation, say, and also companies. For example, Apollo Pharmacy or Ratnadeep, during COVID times, they were able to expand much further. Even though everybody was trying to go back to the digital shopping, they went ahead and acquired a lot of companies. On the other side, once this behavioral aspect set in place and couple of success stories are seen, people will start utilizing that as an industry practice. What we have seen just in a small tea industry itself, it started with a couple of people and then it has become a routine practice now to have a large franchisee chains even for a smallest tea outlets. Whether they would be able to succeed, because now it has become a red ocean, this it's not blue ocean anymore. Whether they'll be able to succeed or not, it depends if they can execute that flawlessly as such. So as I said, it definitely start with the entrepreneur and his ability to take a calculated risk, and then after that it becomes an industry practice.
Okay, so it's pretty interesting though. I hope the entrepreneurs find their curl and keep their momentum on despite all the struggles in the entrepreneurship and all the tough times. But let's keep conversing more, and we have so many concepts coming up. So, thank you so much for joining, Bharat, and let's meet for another concept. Thank you.
Let me add another couple of lines to this.
Sure, sure, please go ahead.
So lot of our industry folks keep telling us, saying that you need to have enough runway to fly. So that that's what the bottom line is. You can't shut your shop and expecting that some miracle would happen. If you want a miracle to happen, you need to be there, you need to be alive and kicking. So ensure that you have enough and more runway for you to see that end of the light at the tunnel. Thank you.
So we have so much to converse, and let's keep going on, and we will come up with the next session soon. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you so much.